Welcome once again. As I promised in my last video, that the next video is going to be as short as possible, and I will be explaining the first thing you need to do if you are interested in applying for the QTS, which is the qualifying teachers status in the UK. And of course, if you're interested in applying for this certification, there are requirements and specifications you need to meet before you can proceed with the application. The first requirement will be to check if your country of origin is in the list of countries qualified to submit application for the QTS. And of course, the list of countries you can see in your screen are the list of the eligible countries to apply for this certification. And of course, from what you can see, there are only 3 African countries qualified to submit this application, and these are Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. Yes, before now, Zimbabwe was in this list, but they were delisted after some back and forth between the agency and the government of Zimbabwe. So if your country is in this list, then the next thing is to check your background of study. If you studied education, if you are from the major, if your major was education in the university, so you have to check, okay, does it fall under the sciences or mathematics or languages? So the agency has listed 3 fields of study that they are interested in, and these fields of studies, you can see them in your screen here. As you can see, mathematics is among. If you studied mathematics education, or you studied pure mathematics and you later did your PGDE, then you now have the TRC, and if you are from Nigeria. Or if you studied sciences, be it biology education, chemistry education, physics education, or any of the science education, be it integrated science education, or whichever of the science education, you are also qualified to apply. If you studied languages, also you are qualified to apply. That means your field of study aligns with one of the required field for the application. Then the next thing is to check if you have your country's certification to teach as a professional teacher in your country of origin. Talking as a Nigerian, I'm from Nigeria, and my application was submitted as a Nigerian applicant during my time. I will talk from my own experience as a Nigerian. So here in Nigeria, we have the Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN. So it's the body that governs the certification of graduates to become professional teachers. If you have the TRCN certificate, that means you have the certification. You have the certification, not the license. You have the certification to practice as a teacher, not the license now. So the TRCN certificate is different from the TRCN license. When you write the TRCN exam and pass the exam, you are awarded a certificate which confirms that you have passed the examination to teach as a professional teacher. Then after that, you use the certificate to get a TRCN license, which always have an expiring date ranging from 3 years, 6 years, 10 years, 15 years, and so on. So the license is always obtained with the TRCN certificate from any of the federal secretariats in the state capitals that we have in Nigeria. So if you have the certificates, a majority of people that have the TRCN certificates, of course, do not have the license. So obtaining the license is not difficult. Not too much is required. It's just your credentials. Similar credentials is submitted during the registration for the exam. You will submit them again, then with the certificates itself, which is TRCN certificate, and then it will be forwarded to the appropriate quarters for the processing of your TRCN license. After, you must have made the payment for the license, and the payment is always stipulated in the office where you will apply for the license, and you will make the payment. It's paid at least for 3 years upward, and they have their yearly amount which you'll be required to pay for the license to be processed. So these are the 2 important documents you need in the application. When you get to the stage of sending your letter of professional standing, these are the 2 documents that you'll be asked to present before the letter will be sent on your behalf to the QTS team. So you need them beforehand, so that when you get to that stage, it will not constitute delay for you in your application. After you must have secured and obtained these 2 certificates, the next document you will need is your country's international passport, because the website, as you can see in your screen, stipulates that it recognizes international passport as means of identification, because other means of identification has proven difficult to verify from their own end, and international passport has always been the easiest for them to verify the identity of their applicant. So make sure you have your international passport at hand, and if you don't have it, you can also process its application the same time with your TRCN license. You can work towards getting your international passport, because the TRCN license during my own time took roughly 5 to 6 months for it to be ready. That was my own experience. I don't know how long it will take for you to process your own. It does not have a fixed time of being processed. There are a lot of factors that might affect its time range of processing. So it does not have a fixed time, but it is not a quick process kind of a thing that you will submit today and get it next week or next month. The TRCN certificate, your TRCN license, and your international passport are the three major documents you must have in your possession before you start the application, because these three documents are not easily processed if you don't have them. And if you go ahead and start the application without these three documents, the application might likely expire, because it has a lifespan of 6 months. Once you start the application, you are required to finish everything about the application, both the submission or forwarding of your letter of professional standing, before that 6 months. Once you get to 6 months, you'll be notified that your application will be deleted from the website. And if you have made payments for letter of professional standing and it's taking longer time to get submitted, and the application is approaching its 6 months, there's nothing you can do, because these processes now are now out of your own control. You are not the one controlling how fast they go at that point in time. So these other aspects which you have control of, when and how you can obtain them, is always best you get or obtain them first before heading to start the application, because once you start this application, the time starts ticking. So your international passport, TRCN license, and your TRCN certificate are the major thing you must have in your possession before you start. And once you have them, you head to the website which you can see in your screen. So head to this website that you can see in your screen, click on it, and do the check and eligibility to confirm your eligibility for the status. And your eligibility status must be confirmed in the website before you can proceed with the application, even if you have checked other eligibility criteria before then. The website requests that before you proceed with the application, you complete or check your eligibility status. So you follow this link you can see in your screen, then complete the eligibility. Once you're eligible, you'll be prompted to start the application instantly from the same website. In my next episode of the video, I will share my screen and describe what is required of you in the eligibility check, and what you're expected to fill in moving forward after the eligibility check, to ensure swift and smooth application process. If you are watching my video for the first time, please hit the follow button and follow the page for more updates. And of course, if you like what we do, share the video for your friends to also benefit from the vital information and updates we drop in this platform. Thank you, and see you in the next video.